Hiya, this is just a quick video to show you how you could potentially use the Chat GPT online chatbot to help your fitness business. I've been messing around with this for a little while, looking at different content, different ways to ask, that sort of thing. And actually, I'm doing a podcast with Dan on this, well, today actually, but it won't be released for the next 3 weeks. But here's something which is potentially interesting for you to build content. Now, just bear in mind that when you're creating content, it has to be unique to you and your audience and the specific people that you work with. You know, the suggestions that come out of ChatGPT are good, but they are generic. And that's what you really got to consider when using this. And I know a lot of people are going, "Oh, you should just use it for all your content." Actually, Google are already creating the algorithm to spot stuff that's been created with the ChatGPT or the OpenAI stuff. So if you're doing all your content and populating your website with all this stuff, it's potentially going to downgrade your reach and your recommendations. So anyway, here's just a quick way that I've used ChatGPT in to generate some content or different bits of content. So what I asked it to do was to list 5 of the top problems facing people over 30 who like working out to build muscle and lose fat, but have to balance their family and work life with their gym and nutrition plan. This is my demographic that I use for Build Body. And I just thought, now I know my demographic like inside and out. I know I have a PhD in my customer problems, and so I know exactly the problems they face. So it was interesting to see the response, and the response is the top 5 that come in. Lack of time, yeah, definitely. Injuries or physical limitations, yeah, that is relevant, but also if you're exercising, you can help reduce injuries because you're exercising. Lack of motivation, yeah, sure. Limited access to a gym, yeah, and balancing nutrition and work, family commitments. Yeah, all this stuff is good points, and you could potentially use that to create a bit of content for you know, if you're trying to target that person. But again, this is generic stuff. You could probably get that from a Google search. Although it is interesting to see the because you have the words generated here as well, the copy, it gives you something to think about. Now that's the sort of the top level of the structure that my target market. So a little bit deeper. So then I asked it, how can these people improve their time management to regularly attend the gym? Now bear in mind, if you continue on the same chat, it remembers what you've asked it the first time, so you don't have to repeat the demographic again. It will remember what you've asked it. So how can these people improve their time management to regularly attend the gym? Okay, and you see here it's remembered who I've asked about. So they can set specific goals, plan ahead, be flexible, make the most of your time, seek support. Again, all, you know, probably generic stuff. And I know for certain there's a few things that I would add to this, which I've done for my work with clients that I've done to actually address this problem. Okay, so but these are generic things. They would be useful for sort of again, the sort of the top level. You have to develop it further with your knowledge of the industry. Okay, so then I went deeper then. So now we're into third level. So I asked it, how might they set specific goals for their target body shape or size, which is the first hit here. And so that's developing it even further. So it says here, how can people over 30 develop specific goals to their target body shape or size? Because it's remembered what I've asked it the first time. So determine your current body measurements. Take a tape measure, exactly right. Now here's the thing, I don't encourage clients to use a tape measure because a lot of the time it can be done wrong. If you measure at the wrong time of the day, it can be you can be actually fatter at certain times of the day than you are at the times of the day. So I don't use body measurements. I do use things like calories in, calories out, steps, that sort of thing. So so determine body measurements. You know, I wouldn't use that with my clients. Some clients do measure their size. They do measure it as a sort of an ongoing thing, but I don't require them to do that. Generally, I look at how they're looking in the mirror. Set realistic goals. Yeah, sure. You know, SMART goals, that sort of thing. And again, this is generic here. Weight loss or muscle gain of 1 to 2 pounds per week is healthy and sustainable rate. Now, if I was to gain 2 pounds of muscle per week, I'd be absolutely over the moon with that. And if you ever try to gain muscle, you know that how difficult that is as a target. So if you were to take that verbatim and put that in your copy, you would very quickly find out that actually, well, people would find out actually you probably don't know what you're talking about, because they're going to go, yeah, okay, great, I'll gain 2 pounds a week and I sign up with you, and then they don't gain 2 pounds a week of muscle, although you might overfeed them and they get loads of fat. Okay, so again, you've got to watch out for stuff that maybe isn't just quite right. Be specific. Yeah, instead of setting a general goal like lose weight, this is SMART goals again. So lose 10 pounds in the next 8 weeks. Yeah, again, to gain 2 inches on my biceps in the next 6 months, I would be over the moon if I gained 2 inches on my biceps in the next 6 months. That's, it's just not going to happen, is it? Not without the use of other interventions. And give you a clear target to work towards. Again, that sort of stuff there, that's a very generic statement. 10 pounds in the next 8 weeks, although that is possible to do. Again, when I'm working with clients, we generally don't focus so much on the weight loss, but how they're looking in body composition. So again, you've got to be careful about what's generated. Use it as an idea, but don't copy it verbatim in your copy. Make a plan, yeah, great. Set your goals, create a plan. Now, this could be developed for you when you're saying, this is what we're going to do. We're going to set some goals. We're going to make a plan, etc. So you could use this in your copy, but don't just use this generic suggestion here. And then track your progress. As coaches, we know that tracking is really important. So I track calories in, calories out, steps. I actually track cardio calories, workout calories, protein, carbs and fats, body weight, all those sorts of things. So all this stuff is good. So yeah, while this is good suggestions, it's all very generic. So you've got to be careful about using this in your copy as it is here. Make sure you use this as ideas and not as, I'm just going to throw that out there in a nice sort of Canva print, because people very quickly, because if you're doing it, every other coach is going to be doing it as well. And the problem with that is that you're just going to then fade into the background with everybody else. So there's a quick tip for you how to think about new content, generate new content. Sorry for the sort of quickness and sort of maybe poor quality of the video, but it's just something I was doing as I was researching my podcast with Dan for today. Okay, see you in a bit.